0.2 centimeters. The next one. Maybe right there. 106.1. So 106.1 centimeters. Number 2. If we can find number 3. Maybe right about there. So looks like a 94.0 centimeters for the third one. Fourth one. Maybe right about there. So looks like an 82.4. And then finally our last measurement here for today. I'll call it that. Okay. How about we call that a 70.7. And so 70.7 centimeters. All right, let me power this one off because it's really beginning to irritate me at high frequency. All right, so I will say the same thing. Go through this, and then of course take the difference between those, so you get the difference between the nodes, and then double that to get the wavelength, multiply by the frequency, and then hopefully what you will see is that you will get the same number, not only the same number, or roughly the same number in each of these 4 boxes for the speed, but you will also get the same number that is roughly the one you got at the other frequency, which is that 34,400 centimeters per second. And so there's your average. And then, of course, back on page 54, you do have a number of questions about them. And I'm just kind of scanning them where if you need any help. And I think you'll be okay, except for maybe this part here that says, you know, what did you get on your average, and calculate your percent error. So let's just say that you've got 33,400. To do a percent error, think of it this way. I like to start off to say, what is my percent accuracy first? So if I do something like this, if I take this number, should I put it over here, Ron? So if I put my number, 33,400, and I divide it by 34,400, that's how you do a fraction, right? Part over the whole. Now, to make it a percentage, you multiply by 100, but this is not the final answer. Let's just see, well, I'll actually grab my calculator. If I was doing this, I would say that I have 33,400, that's what I measured. In a perfect world, I would get 34,400, multiply by 100, and I am 97% correct, so my error is 3%, right? How far away am I from 100? And don't worry if you went too high. I mean, let's say your number was 35,000 even. Because the perfect number would be this 34,400. So if I got that, 35,000, 1, 2, 3, divided by 34,400 means when I multiply by 100, I get 101.7. And again, that means I'm off by 1.7%. So it's just how far are you away from 100%? You know, that's why I take the number you got and divide by the real number. That's your part over the whole. That's your percentage. And so that's your percent correct So to get a percent error, well, then subtract the 100, or just subtract and take the absolute value. How far are you up? So you may not be familiar with that phrase or that technique of finding the percent error, and so they ask for that. They ask for the relationship between frequency and wavelength. I think you can do that. Oh, and then they ask for you to draw the standing wave, and I think you can do that. They ask for nodes, antinodes, which I put up there. They also ask for wavelength and amplitude. I didn't put it there, but I did do it in the online lecture. So I think you'll be good with that. There's no graphs or anything else on that one, and so I will say bye now here for today.
Discussion questions?
And there's no discussion. This is the discussion questions. Yeah. And so these are your discussion questions. All right, bye now.